This meeting is now being recorded.
Okay. Thank you for joining for Drip Marketing Campaign. So we're going to start under the Marketing tab, which is where we're going to find all of the Drip Marketing campaigns. We have stock campaigns available. We have company campaigns. And then we have the ability to also add in our own custom campaigns. So from the Lead Street homepage, click on the Marketing tab, see all of the campaigns that are available. I'm catching a little chat, guys. I'm going to go ahead and mute the line. If you have questions, please post those in.
All guests have been muted.
Okay. So under the Marketing tab, this is where we're going to find all of our Drip Marketing campaigns. So let's talk for just a minute about some of the different campaign types and how we can also set our recipients up on those campaigns. So our first of the campaign types that we have is the Add to Group campaign. So under your Clients tab, you have the ability to create groups and add clients to those groups. What's really nice is when you set up an Add to Group campaign, anytime you add a new client into that group, the Drip Marketing campaign is going to begin for that client. A great example is this Buyers campaign here under Stock campaign. At any time, if you want to see the letters that are included in a marketing campaign, you can click the little file folder to the left, and it's going to show you all of the letters that are set in that particular marketing campaign. So the Buyers campaign, let's say every time you get a new buyer, you want to set them up on this marketing campaign. Once you add them into your group that you create, on day 1, they'll be scheduled to receive the first letter in this campaign. On day 4, they'll receive the second letter in the campaign. Day 10, after being added to the group, they will be sent this particular letter. And then on day 22, after being added into that campaign, they'll get this final letter in this marketing message. We have several Add to Group campaigns. We have one for sellers, one for owners, first-time buyers, and buyers. Those are really great ways to stay in touch by manually adding somebody into a group. Our second campaign type is the fixed campaign, fixed date campaign. Those campaigns are set up to go out on a specific date. For the stock and company campaigns, that date cannot be modified. A great example of that campaign is the monthly newsletter. I'm going to select the file folder so that we can see all of the letters that are available in that monthly newsletter. So unlike the Add to Group, these will go out to any groups on that particular date, any groups you have set up for that campaign on the date that's listed. Right now we're just in time if you want to get the monthly newsletter set up. Because our September newsletter is actually going out tomorrow for our clients. So if I click Preview, you can see an example of what that campaign letter looks like. These are just nice ways to stay in touch with your clients on a monthly basis. Okay. Our final campaign type is the sign-up campaign. The sign-up campaigns are for leads that you accept from the Lead Street system. So as soon as you accept a lead, if you have the sign-up campaign turned on, they will automatically be set up to receive letters from a sign-up campaign. Unfortunately, this does not apply to manually entered leads. You would have to set up either an Add to Group campaign or a fixed date campaign if you want to send those newsletters to manually entered clients. But with sign-up campaigns, a great example is the Welcome New Client campaign. Again, I'm going to click the file folder so we can view all of the messages that are in that particular campaign. And so when I accept a lead from Lead Street, on day 1, after accepting that lead, they would get the Introduce the Website letter. On day 15, they would get this general agent introduction letter. On day 21, they would be selecting a real estate agent letter. All of these letters go out just based on that lead being accepted in the system. So you don't have to set up a group for that one to work. It just automatically detects that a new lead has been accepted and sends out those marketing messages for you. All of these campaign types can be created with custom campaigns. So if you want to set up your own personal sign-up campaign for any leads you accept from LeadStreet, you can do that as well. Before we move into custom campaigns, let's walk through the process of getting a campaign set up. So the first thing that we'll want to do if we're doing an add to group or a fixed date campaign is we're going to want to make sure we have our group set up under the Clients tab. So I'm going to select the Clients tab in LeadStreet. I'm going to click on the Groups tab. And this is going to allow me to come in and create a member distribution group. Once the group has been created, I can then assign it to different marketing campaigns. For our example today, I'm just going to create a group called Buyers. So every time I'm working with a buyer, I'm going to get their contact information entered into LeadStreet, and I'm going to assign them to this group. It's as simple as enter the group name, click Create Group, and now we can see I have the Member Distribution Group Buyers created. So now when I go back over to my contacts list, I can select the people that I want to belong into that group by checking the boxes next to their names, and then click Assign to Group. And I can put them in my buyer campaign. So I'm just going to mark the box buyer, click Assign to Groups. So now those 3 people are assigned to that marketing group called Buyers. Now that I have my group set up, we can go and attach them to a drip email campaign. So we're going to go back over to the Marketing tab. The first step is going to be we want to turn the campaign on. So right next to the Buyers campaign, this is the one that I'm going to set up for today's example. I'm going to click Settings next to that campaign. I'm going to mark it as on, click Update, and now the campaign's been turned on. Once the campaign is turned on, now we can go back and add the recipients that we wish to receive that letter. So I'm going to click on the recipients, and I'm going to mark the Buyers group as the group that I want to receive this marketing message. I'm going to click Update Recipients. So now my Buyers campaign is turned on. Those 3 members will receive the first letter in the series one day after being added to the group, so that'll be tomorrow. And then they'll also receive the additional marketing messages each day, day 4, day 10, day 22 after being added to the group. So they'll get the 4 messages total. Once those 4 messages have been sent, no other marketing messages will be sent unless you add them into a different group. So that's how we turn on and add recipients to the Add to Group campaign. Let's look at a fixed date campaign as well. So I've got the monthly newsletter available. I'm going to click Settings next to the newsletter. Again, I have to turn the campaign on to begin. And then I've got the campaign turned on. So for the fixed date campaign, I do need to attach a group to it. What's nice with the fixed date campaign is that I can attach this to all of my contacts in the system. So this could be my monthly touch to everybody that I have in the LeadStreet system. Or if I prefer, I can just select 1 or 2 of my custom groups for that marketing message to go out to every month. I'm going to leave it at all contacts and click Update Recipients. So now I have the monthly newsletter turned on, and it's ready to go out to all contacts in my Lead Street database. Okay, I've got a question here from Miles. So just to confirm, we're going to talk about, I'm going to unmute for just a second here so I can clarify what we need to go back and look at.
All guests have been unmuted.
Hey, Miles. Claire, need to cover again?
Tracy, you said something when you showed us how to sign up for the first campaign and with the first group. You said something about once you've turned it on, and then I missed what you said.
Okay. So the first step is we want to get the campaign turned on. So we go under Settings, and we turn it on. Click Update. After it's been turned on, we still have to assign recipients to receive the message. So then we click on the Recipients tab, and then we find the group that we want to set up for that marketing message. So I'm turning on the buyers campaign. I'm going to attach my group of buyers to that marketing campaign. Click up, and now they're all set to receive those marketing messages.
Okay, but if I add another buyer later on, then what happens to that group? Do I have to go back to the campaign again?
You do not. So as you add members to that group, they will automatically be set up on that marketing message. So it's all automated from that point forward. So anytime if you manually enter in a new client, let's say we set the group up today, but on Monday I get a new buyer, I'm going to attach them to the buyers group. And then one day after being added into that group, they're going to receive that first letter in the series. And then on day 4, after being added into the group, they're going to receive that second letter. And then day 10, after being added, they'll get the third. And then day 22, they'll get the fourth letter. So any...
If the fourth letter just goes away, it doesn't keep recycling, correct?
No, it doesn't keep sending a message.
You got to read the words at the bottom of the screen. You hit the one that corresponds with view, which is that.
I'm sorry, what's the question?
But those words change.
I'm sorry, was there clarification needed on one of the campaign types? Okay. Okay. So this is the nice thing about taking the time and setting up these campaigns. The nice thing is you set them up once, and then it's automating your business for you. So you don't have to, obviously you'll still want to follow up, but this is just a nice way to stay in touch, which is a very simple way to keep in touch with your client. Okay. So I'm going to move on. We're going to go ahead and set up a welcome new client campaign as well. I want to show you how to do the sign-up campaigns and get those turned on and set up to go. So again, just a reminder, the sign-up campaigns are designed to go to Lead Street leads you accept from the Lead Street system. So anytime you get that instant acceptance or you're going and logging in and accepting those leads, those are the ones that would be set up on these campaigns. For sign-up campaigns, the only thing that you have to do is turn them on because the system is already going to detect the group of people that it's going to. So for a sign-up campaign, we go to the settings, we toggle it on, click Update, and now if I were to receive leads from Lead Street, they would automatically get started on this series of letters that are set up for my sign-up campaign. So we've got a variety of stock marketing messages, but I know for a lot of agents, they like to customize and tailor things so that they make it their own message. So that's why we have custom campaigns available for you to create. You do the work once for your marketing messages, and then those marketing messages you can then assign to different groups, just like all of our stock campaigns. So to do that first, you would need to create letters that you're going to send out and get those uploaded to your letter library. So let me walk you through where we can find the letter library, and then we'll create a sample marketing message. So from the LeadStreet homepage, I'm going to click on the email tab, and we're going to select letter library. This is where we can create and add new letters to our personal letter library. Additionally, you have all of the stock letter library listed below, where you can take these messages and mix and match them if you want to create a custom campaign that includes letters that are already created in the system. But we're going to walk through how to create a new letter and attach it to a custom letter and create a marketing campaign using that. So I'm going to click on Create New Letter. And this is just going to bring up like a basic editor. So I have the ability, I can select a category that I've already created, or I can create a new category for which this will be buyers. You're going to give it a title, which will be for your eyes only, and the subject will be the subject line of the email message. So I'm going to say this is going to be my new buyer welcome. My subject is going to be, welcome. And then I'm going to just type in my message that I want to be my first letter to go out to any new buyers. Thanks for choosing me. Look forward to working with you. Obviously, you would want to elaborate a little bit, but just for demonstration purposes, this just gives you an idea that we can type in this message. We can change font sizes. We can change font family. So I can change it to a larger font. We could change it to a different font. You can add photos. To add photos, you would need to pull them in from the image library. If you want to add your own custom images, you can do that here, or you can select from the company and stock photos. I'm just going to choose this Remax balloon just for example purposes here. When you're working with the image library, you select the thumbnail to the left, and then you click on the full-size image and drag it into the email. So you can see we can put in a nice format, we can add images, we can change fonts, any of those different items we can do here in the system. Once you've finished your letters, you're going to click Add Letter. And now under my buyers category that I created, I have my new buyer welcome. At any time I can preview or edit those letters. Or if I just want to manually send them, you have the ability to do that here from the email tab.
Yeah.
But you would take your time, create your letters that you want to set up on your custom campaign. And then when you're ready to get started with that custom campaign, we're going to go to the Marketing tab. The bottom of the Marketing tab, we have My Custom Campaign. Right underneath, I'm going to click Create Custom Campaign. I'm going to give the campaign a name. I'm going to call this my new buyer campaign. Then we have to select the campaign type. So just like we have the 3 different campaign types, we have Add to Group, Fixed Date, and Sign Up. We can create our own custom campaigns in any of those categories. I'm going to make this an Add to Group campaign because my plan is to, anytime I get a new client, a new buyer that I'm working with, I'm going to manually enter in their email address into LeadStreet. So I'm going to click Add to Group as my campaign type, and then click Continue. Click Continue. So the next screen is going to show us all of the letters that we've created in our personal letter library, as well as all of those stock letters. I've got 13 pages of letters available to use when I'm creating my custom campaign. So I'm just going to select that new buyer welcome letter that we just created under the email tab. And I want that to go out one day after I've added that contact into the group. So I'm going to click continue. And you would just continue to add letters into this campaign until you've completed that marketing message. So I'm just, for example purposes, add another letter. Let's add a second one. We'll just add in the second letter that I've created from a past training. Just a note, the number of days that you're entering this, it's the number of days after they're added to the group, not since they received the last letter. So just keep that in mind. If on day 1 you want them to receive the first message after being added to the group, on day 4 or 5 you may want them, after added to the group, to receive that second letter. So I'm going to put day 4, continue. And so now you can see I've got my 2 letters set up to go. I've got one that goes in on the first day after it's added and one that goes in on the 4th day after they've been added. You just continue to add all of the letters. Once you've finished, click the Finish button. And we're just waiting for it to finalize. Once the campaign is finalized, we have to follow the same steps that we have with all of our other campaigns. We have to turn the campaign on, and we have to attach our groups to it. So now when I scroll down under My Custom Campaigns, we should see my new buyer campaign currently turned off. I can click the File folder and see those marketing letters that I've added to it. I want to click on Modify so that I can turn that campaign on. So again, I'm going to toggle it to on, click Update. And my final step is going to be to go down and add the recipients that I want to receive that message. So I'm going to click on Recipients. I'm going to add my buyers, click Update, and now that campaign is set up. Okay, so that concludes the Drip email marketing campaigns. I'm going to go ahead and end this meeting.